Hello, hello, hello! Welcome back. Welcome back to the next task for the TryHackMe Advent of Cyber 2023. We're at task 19, day 13, intrusion detection to the pots through the walls. It's actually the second time I record this video because the first time a glitch in my hardware made my voice not come through, so I have to do the whole thing again. I'm actually surprised this hasn't happened before. So we've been doing this almost for 2 weeks now. This is day 13, so tomorrow is day 14. That'll be the second week done. And we're already past halfway point. Also, this is an accessible task. This means that we have 2 accessible tasks in a row. That also hasn't happened yet, this AOC. Without further ado, and I might go a little faster than I normally do because I've already done this task and literally just finished it. And, yeah, now I'm gonna have to do it again. So, again, no speech, NVDA speech viewer today because command line stuff, and I can't guarantee that we can actually see it. I'm just making triple sure that you can actually see the browser window at the moment. You should be able to, but I also thought you'll be able to hear me earlier, so I'm not taking any more chances. You are... yeah, you're all good. Except that title isn't correct. There. Alright. I'll close this out. We'll need this later. Alright, the story. Here we go again. Task banner for day 13. We don't get to know what's on the banner. The proposed merger and suspicious activities have kept all teams busy and engaged, so that the best festival company's systems are safeguarded in the future against malicious attacks. McSkitty assigns the B team, led by McHoneybell, to research and investigate mitigation and proactive security. The team's efforts will be channeled into the company's defensive security process. You are part of the team, a security researcher tasked with gathering information on defense and mitigation efforts. Heading number 2. There's headings in this task which makes me really happy, and there's also heading hierarchy that's properly done in this task, which makes me even happier. Someone who knows HTML did this task. I appreciate you, whoever you are. Learning objectives. In today's task, you will learn to understand incident analysis through the diamond model. Identify defensive strategies that can be applied to the diamond model. Learn to set up firewall rules and a honeypot as defensive strategies. Connecting to the machine. Before moving forward, review the questions in the connection card shown below. Essentially, it tells us that we have to start both the attack box and the target machine, and that there is either SSH, VNC, or RDP available. I happen to know it's SSH in this case, which makes us very happy. Alright. Launch the virtual machine by pressing the green Start Machine button at the top right of the task, and the attack box by pressing the Start Attack Box button at the top right of the of the page. These are 2 different buttons, and they have different colors. The attack button, I'm pretty sure, is blue. Use the SSH credentials below to access the VM and follow along the practical sections of the task. I don't think I'll be doing that quite as heavily as I did the previous time. I'm very sorry, I just want to get through this now. Username, Van Twinkle. Password, Twinkle Star. IP address, 10.10.93.95. At least that's an easy one to remember. Excuse me. Introduction. Intrusion detection and prevention is a critical component of cybersecurity aimed at identifying and mitigating threats. When set up early, intrusion detection becomes a proactive security measure. However, in our story, the best festival company has to develop ways to improve their security, given the magnitude of the recent breaches. In this epic task, we'll embark on a thrilling journey through fundamental concepts, detection strategies, and the application of the diamond model and intrusion analysis in defensive security. I like the person who wrote this. They're very story-based. I can also see that they're British. Good show, chap. Cheerio. Thank you for your work. Incident analysis. Consider the cyber threat events that have recently taken place within the Best Festival Company and on Antarcticrafts. We have identified clues and artifacts, but we're yet to piece them together to lead us to the attacker. We need a framework to profile the attacker, understand their moves, and help us strengthen our defenses. A graphic that says an illustration of the diamond model as the alt text. I appreciate that there's custom alt text. The diamond model, then it says a link that says diamond model RMUWWG42. I'm not sure what that's all about. Is a security analysis framework that seasoned professionals use to unravel the mysteries of adversary operations and identify the elements used in an intrusion. It comprises 4 core facets interconnected to form a well-orchestrated blueprint of the attacker's plans. Adversary, victim, infrastructure, and capability. We'll wield the knowledge we gained from the previous days of Advent of Cyber to unlock the secrets hidden within these core features. Adversary. In our exciting storyline, we have discovered a suspected insider threat, causing trouble within the Best Festival Company and interfering with the proposed merger with Antarcticrafts. This individual, who we'll call the Adversary Operator, is not just an ordinary troublemaker. They are the clever attackers or malicious threat actors responsible for cyber attacks or intrusions. Adversary operators can be an individual or an entire organization aiming to disrupt the operations of another. Give me just a moment, I need to discipline my dog. Hi. The benefits of doing these things live. That's not the only type of adversary. The adversary customer is another intriguing player in this grand scheme. They are the one who reaps the rewards from the cyber attack and can consolidate the efforts of various adversary operations. Picture this: a collection of adversaries working together to orchestrate widespread security breaches, just like the enigmatic Advanced Persistent Threats APT groups. That's a link. We're not going to click it today, but it is a link that you can click to probably get more information. Also, the reason I stumble over words sometimes is that I'm reading Braille lightning fast to keep up with what I'm actually saying out loud, and I have to essentially predict what the next bit of the word's going to be before I see it sometimes, and I sometimes get it wrong. Because I don't pattern match, I have to read character by character. It's a very serial process. And these predictions make it go faster, but just like autocomplete, I'm not always correct. Victim. This is none other than the target of the adversary's wicked intentions. It could be a single individual or domain or an entire organization with multiple networks and data assets. The Best Festival Company finds itself at the mercy of these adversaries. We must shield them from further harm. Infrastructure. Every adversary needs tools. They require software or hardware to execute their malicious objectives. Infrastructure represents the physical and logical interconnections that an adversary employs. Our story takes an interesting twist as we uncover the USB drive that Tracy McGreedy cunningly plugged in, disrupting Santa's meticulously crafted plans. But beware, adversarial infrastructure can be owned and controlled by adversaries or even intermediaries like service providers. Excuse me again. I've been talking a lot today. Capabilities. An animation that just says Lottie animation. I'm going to assume that's some kind of comic, but I can't read it. I don't know what it says. What capabilities these adversaries have. What skills, tools, and techniques they employ! Exclamation point. Here, we shine a light on the tactics, techniques, and procedures, TTPs, that shape adversaries' devious endeavors. See, it's by words like endeavors spelled with a U that I can tell this is written by a Brit. Intruders or adversaries may employ various tactics, techniques, and procedures for malicious activities. Some examples include phishing. Adversaries may use deceptive emails or messages to trick individuals into revealing sensitive information or clicking on malicious links. Exploiting vulnerabilities. Adversaries can exploit weaknesses of vulnerabilities in software, systems, or networks to gain unauthorized access or perform malicious actions. This was very well showcased in AOC Day 10, where we covered SQL injection as one of the techniques used. Social engineering. This involves manipulating individuals through psychological tactics to gain unauthorized access or obtain confidential information. Malware attacks. Adversaries may deploy malicious software such as viruses, worms, or ransomware to gain control over systems or steal data. Insider threat. This refers to individuals within an organization who misuse their access privileges to compromise systems, steal data, or disrupt operations. Denial of service, DOS attacks. Adversaries may overwhelm a target system or network with excessive traffic or requests, causing it to become unresponsive or crash. Heading 2. Defensive Diamond Model. But fear not, for we shall not be mere observers in this cosmic battle. We will harness the power of the Diamond Model's components, particularly capability and infrastructure, for our defensive endeavors. We will forge the best festival company into a formidable defender, no longer a hapless victim. Thing 3. Defensive capability. It is said that defense is the best offense. I've heard the opposite, but I'm sure that's true. In the quest for protection against adversaries, the best festival company must equip itself with powerful defensive capabilities. Two key elements of this are threat hunting and vulnerability management. Threat hunting is a proactive and iterative process led by skilled security professionals to actively search for signs of malicious activities or security weaknesses within the organization's network and systems. Organizations can detect adversaries early in their attack lifecycle by conducting regular threat hunts. Threat hunters analyze behavioral patterns, identify advanced threats, and improve incident response. Developing predefined hunting playbooks and fostering collaboration among teams ensures a systematic and efficient approach to threat hunting. Vulnerability management is a structured process of identifying, assessing, prioritizing, mitigating, and monitoring vulnerabilities in an organization's systems and applications. Regular vulnerability scanning helps identify weaknesses that adversaries could exploit. Prioritizing vulnerabilities based on their severity and potential impact, promptly patching or remediating vulnerabilities, and maintaining an up-to-date asset inventory is essential. Continuous monitoring, integration with threat intelligence feeds, and periodic penetration testing further strengthens the organization's security posture. Meanwhile, reporting and accountability provide visibility into security efforts. Very important reporting. So many people who underestimate that. It's a lot of work that's really important. By integrating threat hunting and vulnerability management, organizations can proactively defend against adversaries, detect threats early, and reduce the attack surface. These defensive capabilities form a solid foundation for incident response and ensure the best possible defense for the best festival company. Heading 3. Defensive infrastructure. The best festival company will construct their bastion of defense, fortified with tools and infrastructure to repel cyber attacks. Layer upon layer of hardware and software will be deployed, ranging from intrusion defense and prevention systems to robust anti-malware solutions. The objective is to impede attackers by limiting their options to predetermined paths and disrupting their malicious actions with increased noise. This strategy serves as a deterrent to the attacker, making it more difficult for them to carry out their intended activities and providing an opportunity for detection and response. By implementing this approach, Organizations could strengthen their cybersecurity posture and reduce the risk of successful attacks. In this section, we'll guide Van Twinkle on her quest to understand two essential components of defensive infrastructure: mighty firewalls and cunning honeypots. Firewall. We have a graphic that has the alt text "Santa's elves building a wall as McSkitty overlooks with disgust." Don't know why McSkitty is so annoyed, but appreciate the alt text. Thank you very much. It really helps give these tasks some more flair, and sometimes information is lost otherwise. The Mighty Firewall is a guardian of networks and a sentinel of cybersecurity. This network's security device stands vigilant, monitoring and controlling the ebb and flow of incoming and outgoing network traffic. With its predetermined security rules, a firewall can repel a wide range of threats, from unauthorized access to malicious traffic, and even attempts to breach sensitive data. Firewalls come in many forms, including hardware, software, or a combination. Their presence is vital, a cornerstone of any cybersecurity defense strategy. The following are the common types of firewalls that exist. Stateless or packets filtering. This firewall provides the most straightforward functionality by inspecting and filtering individual network packets based on a set of rules that would point to a source or destination IP address, port, and protocol. The firewall does not consider any context of each connection when making decisions, and effectively blocks denial of service attacks and port scans. Stateful inspection. The firewall is more sophisticated. It is used to track the state of network connections and use this information to make filtering decisions. For example, if a packet being channeled to a network is part of an established connection, the stateful firewall will let it pass through. However, the packet will be blocked if it is not part of an established connection. Then we have proxy service. This firewall protects the network by filtering messages at the application layer, providing deep packet inspection and more granular control over traffic content. The firewall can block access to certain websites or block the transmission of specific types of files. And then finally, we have Web Application Firewall, WAF, which I find an amusing abbreviation because that's one way to say a barking dog, like WAF in Dutch. So there was a lot of jokes about that on the work floor when I worked as a developer in certain offices. This firewall is designed to protect web applications. WAFs block common web attacks such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and denial of service attacks. And we have Next Generation Firewall. This firewall combines the functionalities of the stateless, stateful, and proxy firewalls with features such as intrusion detection and prevention and content filtering. For the remainder of this task, we will focus on one application of a stateful inspection firewall in the form of the uncomplicated firewall, or UFW. Configuring considering firewalls to block traffic. Van Twinkle knows that the uncomplicated firewall is the default firewall configuration tool available on Ubuntu hosts. She decides to use it for this experiment. Initially, it's turned off by default, so we can check the status by running the command below. Commands UFW status, and all these are preceded with sudo. We see a screenshot where the response is status inactive. We won't currently have any rules, so we can define default rules to allow or block traffic. These can be set to deny all incoming connections and allow outgoing connections. That command would be UFW default allow outgoing. And it says default outgoing policy changed to allow. Okay, so then we just see that. Be sure to update your rules. Yeah, blah blah. Okay, you can also default deny incoming. We've done that. Additionally, we can add, modify, and delete rules by specifying an IP address, port number, service name, or protocol. In this example, we can add a rule to allow legitimate incoming connections to port 22, which would allow connecting via SSH. We should get two confirmation messages indicating that the rule has been implemented for IPv4 and IPv6 connections. Okay, we have a command how to do that here. The command is ufw allow 22/TCP. 22/TCP. Alright. Then we get the two rules updated notifications. Firewall rules can be more complex, incorporating specific addresses, subnets, or even specific network interfaces. We have a example here of UFW deny from an IP, and then even deny in on ETH0 from, and then an IP address. So that's quite complicated. Once we have added our rules, we can enable the service and check the rules set. Enabling UFW is just UFW enable. Like I said, you need sudo for all of these. And then UFW status lists out all the rules, basically. Alright. What happens if the rules are incorrectly configured? We can reset the firewall and revert to its default state and be able to configure the rules fresh. Resetting the URL is just UFW reset. Okay. Resetting all rules installed default. Okay, this may add, this may do, this is a screenshot. Okay. It'll back up your existing rules and then just wipe everything out. At this point, Van Twinkles has a much deeper understanding of how to set up and configure firewall rules to help Honeybell implement Santa's defenses. Honeypot. Van Twinkle studying on honeypot positioning within a network is a graphic with that alt text. I like that. This is another intriguing piece of infrastructure in the world of defensive security. Picture a trap laid for the attackers to a mirage of vulnerability tempting them away from the true treasures. Behold, the I was going to say the firepot. No, the honeypot. A honeypot is a cybersecurity mechanism, a masterful deception. It presents itself as an alluring target to the adversaries, drawing them away from the true prizes. Honeypots come in various forms: software applications, servers, or entire networks. They are designed to mimic legitimate targets, yet they are under the watchful control of the defender. For the best festival company, envision a honeypot masquerading as Santa's website, a perfect replica of the real one. Honeypots can be classified into two main types. Low interaction honeypots. These honeypots artfully mimic simple systems like web servers or databases. They gather intelligence on attackers' behavior and detect new attack techniques. And then there's the high interaction honeypot. These honeypots take deception to new heights, emulating complex systems like operating systems and networks. They collect meticulous details on attacker behavior and study their techniques to exploit vulnerabilities. To demonstrate how to set up a honeypot, we'll use a tool called Pentbox, which has already been installed on the VM under Home, Van Twinkle, Pentbox 1.8. Yeah, I in the previous version of this video, I actually went to go look at that. But the majority of what you need to know is actually in this text as well, so we're not going to be doing that this time. Launch the tool via the directory demonstrated below. Select option 2 for network tools, and follow with option 3 to install the honeypot. So yeah, it also has things like, see the screenshot, it has cryptographic tools, network tools, and if you go into web tools, you get a net DOS tester, TCP port scanner, and there's a honeypot number 3, like it said. When we select the option to set up the honeypot, we can choose to set up an auto configuration or configuration or a manual configuration. The manual configuration offers more options to allocate which port to open and a custom message for the honeypot to display. Accompanying these options, log data will be collected and displayed on the terminal for every intrusion encountered. With the active honeypot, we can attempt to connect to the VM by navigating to it on the attack box browser. You should see the custom message crafted from the honeypot. Once connected, the intrusion will trigger an alert on the honeypot, and a log will be created showing the attacker IP address and port. So, the honeypot responds to web requests, not anything else. If you go to the website, that's the message you put in the manual configuration options, is what you're going to be seeing. Now we have a screenshot of that happening, basically how to set up the configuration. You fill in the form, you fill in the custom message and the port that it needs to use, and then you just sort of connect to it from the browser, and you get this intrusion attempt detected at so and so and so and so. Ventwinkles' challenge. After learning about firewalls and honeypots, Ventwinkles puts his knowledge into practice and sets up a simple website to be hidden behind some firewall rules. I'm pretty sure Ventwinkle was a she before, but okay. Sorry for the coughing today, my friends. You can deploy the firewall rules by executing the Ventwinkles rules.sh script within the home Ventwinkle directory. Now, I am not a great actor, so I'm not going to do that again because I already know where the answers are. So let's just act like I did like a whole 10-minute sequence of starting up the firewall rules and then not finding the port for a bunch, and then suddenly realizing that I had to reset the firewall and then do it again, and then just sort of figure out what I did wrong. And let's just figure out that the idea was to use port 8090 in the end. So IP address colon 8090. And then that's where the website for Santa was. And we'll get to what that is important for in just a minute, because now we get to the answer to the questions. Which security model is being used to analyze the breach and defense strategies? That would be Diamond Model, 2 words. That is correct. Which defense capability is used to actively search for signs of malicious activity? That you'll find would be threat hunting. What are our main 2 infrastructure focuses? Answer format, answer 1 and answer 2. That would be firewall and honeypot. Which firewall command is used to block traffic? That would be deny, D-E-N-Y, just the word deny. There is a flag in one of the stories. Can you find it? So, yes. Yes, I can. Let me show you where that is. Not that one. I want that one. It's 10, 10, 93, 95. And we're going to do 80, 90. Normally I'd be worried that the script that we haven't run actually boots up the website, but I know it doesn't. I've already looked at that script. There it is. So this is Santa's website with the stories on it. And in this second story here, the third one. No, the second one. Santa's challenge. All the way at the bottom. So it says, together with the elves, you ensured that all digital presence were protected from malicious malware and crafted vital encryptions keys, with an important one being, and then there's the flag that we need to fill in, which is quite long, so I'm going to have the computer read it, and also I'm going to slow that down a bit, because that was my usual speed, and I wouldn't be surprised if no one understood a word of that. So give me just a moment here while I do that. There we go, and this is the flag contents.
Out of edit, my answer format. Star. H-T-H-M.
So THM, left brace, and then pots walls for Santa, but in really painfully 90s lead speak.
T0 T dollar line W add 1 1 S line 4 line S add 7 add right brace.
There you go.
Speech mode off.
That is the flag for today's task, and that's also the final question. So yeah, we did this a little faster than normal. I'm sorry for that. I really don't want to do this whole thing again. And also, I would not be able to make it genuine. So yeah, technology being it what it is, I'm just going to leave it here. Thank you so much for watching, and also thank you, creator of this task, for making it as accessible as it was. I really appreciate the headings and the alt text. That's super helpful. Really kind of shows me that these videos I'm making are having an impact, which is really what I'm doing it for. I'm super happy that that's happening. Everybody have a great day. Rest of your day. It's pretty much over here, but you know, the Americans might still have some time left. And I'll see you for the next one tomorrow. Have a great evening, morning, afternoon, or night. And I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.